Peoria Life, Nara here. And today we have a really amazing business right here in the heart of Peoria on with us today. And that is Radish Kitchen. So I'm super excited to have Jam on here with us so she could talk a little bit more about not only a really trending type of diet to have right now, but just what it offers to Peoria and all of that good stuff. But we all know I could talk all day long. And I don't want to take the spotlight from our guests. So, Miss Jam, would you like
Hello.
to introduce yourself and your business for individuals that may have never heard of it before?
Sure. So I'm Jam Rohr. I'm the owner of Radish Kitchen, which is a plant-based convenience store. Well, it soon will be here in Peoria. I was running Upbeat Jams for the last year and a half, and I shifted my name as the business grew. So Upbeat Jams started as a whole food, plant-based, vegan meal prep service where people could order ahead of time, and then I would make meals and deliver or have pickups available. But that continued to grow. And then as I saw, this was no longer something that was feasible for the long-term future, I've now stepped into opening this convenience store.
Wow, that is amazing. So, when you say convenience store, can individuals still get like meals that you all create, but they could come in and purchase items to go home and create a recipe too?
Oh yeah, absolutely. So the way that I'm kind of expanding what Upbeat Jams was into what Radish Kitchen will be is I'm gonna continue to offer the weekly meals with a rotating menu every single week. People can
Mhm.
subscribe so that you never miss a meal, and anyone who subscribes gets you get 5 meals with a dessert with every meal, and then you get a free surprise dessert every week, which is basically just a new dessert every week. I don't tell you what it is; you just get it when you get it. So whenever the store opens, I'll still have those meals available, and I'll have a small made to order menu where it'd be meals you can come up and order that'll be hot. And then a full store with bulk items and spice mixes and frozen meals and a bunch of other things.
Wow. So, what made you get into plant-based and the vegan lifestyle? Like, what made you want to go that route to eventually turn it into a business?
Sure. So I grew up in Peoria, and then I moved away for school, and I moved back here in 2018 right after I had graduated with my MFA in sculpture. So I was under a lot of stress, of course, and I
Mhm.
started having this really bad pain, and I didn't have health
Mhm.
insurance at the time, and I didn't know what the pain was, and I Googled it, of course, like we all do, and I kept reading whole food, plant-based, vegan diet will take care of this. And I thought it couldn't hurt. So I started trying to just transition from a standard American diet to first just cutting out red meat, and then trying to cut out chicken and fish and all meat, and going vegetarian for a while, and then trying dairy, just one step at a time. But I came to find out later that what I was feeling was endometriosis. Now that I have insurance and I can go to a doctor about it, but I noticed that the diet change really helped the pain become much more manageable. It also, changing my diet helped with a lot of other things, like my hair started growing faster. I had the cystic acne from grad school that cleared up right away. I had more energy. My memory was getting better. My mood was better. Just
Wow.
noticed this significant improvement in my life. So yeah, that's kind of how I went vegan, and that would have been about 3 years ago now.
Wow. I've never tried vegan food, but I went a year where I called myself a flexitarian and all
Sure.
I ate was the seafood, turkey, and chicken. And
Hmm.
I switched my daughter from cow milk to where all she drinks is almond milk and soy milk now.
Oh,
And
sure.
she stopped having strep throat and ear infections every month. I don't know if it
Mhm.
had anything to do with putting her more on a plant-based milk or what it was, but I never knew that it could help with the pains for endometriosis. And I know it's probably a lot of women out there, including me, that those cysts and everything else that come along with that condition is hard. So
Oh, yeah,
I need to
absolutely.
write that down. So I know you said you were born and raised right here in Peoria. When
Mhm.
you switched to a plant-based lifestyle and you were like, I'm going to open this business here, were there any hurdles from friends and family, or everyone was very supportive of this type of business being in our city?
Everyone was pretty supportive. So when I moved back, first I started Black Dog Metal Arts with my husband. We both have our MFA in sculpture. So we already were starting to kind of
Oh.
meet a lot of people through that business and getting really involved in the arts community, and meeting a lot of friends and just building this really strong network of people, whether it's acquaintances, other businesses, or new friends. And my family is really, really supportive of anything I want to do. So having that foundation kind of helped to see like people are already really supportive of this unique thing that we were doing. And now I'm doing something else that's much different than foundry work, but I still get that same amount of support. So most people that I know that are in my close circle, no one is vegan, but everybody is really open to trying the meals and eating what I am offering and coming in to test things for me. And the hardest part at first was that my husband wasn't vegan either. We were both eating a standard American diet, and I told him, I'm going to try to go vegan. And he was like, that's great. I don't think I'm going to at first. And I was like, I totally understand that. But then we watched this documentary called Game Changers on Netflix, and it's about plant-based athletes. And there was
Mm.
this one segment in the documentary where they fed some athletes a veggie burrito and others, I think it was like a beef burrito. It had meat in it. I just don't remember exactly what it was. And then they did blood work to see like what was in the blood. And that's what really stuck out to him. And when the documentary was over, he was like, well, I'm going to be a vegetarian now. So that kind of got him interested and more open to all of this. But now, since we both cook together for all of
Mhm.
this, most of what we eat is just extras from the meals or leftover meals or things that we didn't use. So he's pretty much vegan as well too now. But yeah,
Wow.
everybody's just very supportive and interested, and it's been really fun.
That is amazing. Like I've noticed, and this is what I love about Peoria, is you can meet so many different people.
Mm-hmm.
When I tried the first time to be a vegetarian and everything else, trying different stuff, back home, unfortunately, I was told Black people do not go vegetarian. Black people do not go vegan. Come to Peoria, and guess what? No matter what color skin you are, you can have whatever diet you want to have, and no one are ridiculing you about it. So I was on your website, love your website by the way, and I ran across um a plant-based and vegan hub event called Forks and Beans. What exactly is Forks and Beans? Because it sounds interesting.
Yeah, so it hasn't started yet because I haven't been able to open the store, but just because I just moved in on January 1st. So I've been
Oh,
cleaning and I'm
wow.
working on next week we'll be painting and building things out. But we're kind of like in this transition phase of what was Upbeat Jams and meal prep to now opening this full-blown store. So one thing I want to offer when it's safe to do so is
Mhm.
dinner parties once a month. So I've been kind of reaching out to other people in the community right now to kind of see who's interested and what would the specifics of the event be. But Fork and Beans will be basically a monthly dinner party where I will serve a 3-course meal and then somebody else will lead a workshop on whatever topic that they want to talk about or lead a class or some kind of event where it's helping to shine a light on what other people are doing, but also feeding people in the community at the same time. So yeah, those will probably, I'm really hoping they'll start up in the spring. It's just kind of,
Okay.
with the way the pandemic's been going, I've just been
Yeah.
kind of like playing it safe and waiting and seeing how things go. So.
Oh, absolutely. And congratulations on the new space. I had no clue.
Oh,
Wow.
thanks.
January 1st.
Yeah,
I'm
really
excited because
new.
I want to try the food. Like,
Awesome.
I
Yeah.
cannot wait. So, with Peoria, how would you describe your Peoria life? When you think about Peoria, what does that phrase Peoria life mean to you?
Yeah, so I love Peoria. I think I have a much different perspective on it now than when I grew up here. When I was younger growing up, I thought that Peoria, I wanted to live in a big city and Peoria didn't have anything. I was just really cynical. But when I moved away, I really saw how amazing Peoria is. And a lot of things started popping up. Like in the 10 years I was gone, the arts community really started growing. And whenever my husband and I graduated from grad school, I told him I think we would do well in Peoria because people are interested in the arts, but there's also a lot of different things happening and everyone is supportive of everyone else. Something that I think both of us were experiencing in school is that there's this, I mean, we had a really strong community with the other grads, but there would be people outside of our department kind of pushing like this competitive thing where it's you need to do better than everyone else, and you can't really like lift everyone up sort of thing. Like there's just this harsh competition, and I think competition is good and healthy, but in Peoria everyone is just excited about what everyone else is doing, and everyone wants to know how they can help, how they can be involved, what can we do to elevate you. And there's not that like toxic competition kind of thing. So Peoria is just a really great place, I think, for everyone to find something. And it's just continuing to grow, and there seems to be more opportunities and more unique businesses and not-for-profits and missions popping up all of the time. So.
Oh, absolutely. Now, where is Radish Kitchen located at?
So I'm going to be located at 1200 West Main Street, which is in Campustown over at a university in Maine, right across from where One World is and Dang Banh Mi. So there's a Starbucks in the plaza. I'll be right next to the Starbucks. So it's where Pho on Main used to be. So hopefully I'll be opening in mid-February, and then I'll have the full store available to everybody. So right now I'm working on the build out and all of that, but yeah.
That is so exciting. And you're in a perfect location. Like it's perfect because not only do you have the businesses down there that's like, this is something different to get a bite to eat from, but you have all these different college students that have different type of diets. So to have a place right there in Campustown is amazing.
Yeah,
I can't wait for you to open. I'm so excited.
Yeah, me too.
Oh my gosh.
I've got the Bradley students right there. And in the first week that we were in here, we had the door unlocked, and we were just cleaning and moving things in and out all the time. And like all day people were coming in and asking like, oh, are you open? And I'd say, oh, well, Pho on Main closed, but we're going to be a vegan convenience store soon. And everybody was really interested and excited about what we're doing. So yeah, it's a lot of foot traffic over here.
Yes, definitely. So with the recipes, are these recipes that you all just sit down and curate from scratch? Do you adopt some from other places you've traveled from and experienced the vegan restaurant there? Like, how are these dishes? What are your like 3 favorite dishes you make?
Oh, my 3 favorite. Okay, I'm gonna say lasagna is probably my favorite one. That's one that like I put it on the menu several times when I was operating as Upbeat Jams. It's so great. And there's like little things about it that I've figured out how to perfect over time to get it to that like exact consistency of what I remember lasagna to be growing up, like the one we're all familiar with like meat and ricotta and all of that. I can do it vegan, and I just use lentils instead of beef and add mushrooms so that there's still that like meatiness that you're missing with beef. But lasagna, shepherd's pie, I'll say, is another one of my favorites. I put that on the menu probably more often than other things. It's just, I try not to have too many repeats because I have people who were subscribing and getting new meals every week. So I wanted to kind of show that like the vegan diet isn't limiting. There's a lot of things that you can eat. And I mean, I think that I eat more things going vegan than when I was eating a standard American diet. So anyway, I try not to have repeats, but shepherd's pie. And then I think I made a sweet potato curry recently that came with a beet chutney on the side. So it was like a sweet potato chickpea curry that was like sweet and savory, but then I put this really spicy beet chutney on the side. So if you like spicy, you could put the chutney in there and get a completely different flavor profile than if you just ate the curry by itself. So those are probably my top 3, but all of the recipes I come up with myself, it'll either be like something that I was craving and I'll be like, well, how do I veganize it? Or I'm talking to like friends and family who aren't vegan and they'll tell me some really good thing that they made. And I'll say, okay, I want to make that, but I'm going to try to make it vegan. So I'm going to do these things to switch up your recipe. Or every 6 months, my husband and I will try to go on a trip, and we're really
Mhm.
involved in the iron community with our background with Black Dog Metal Arts. So we travel often for iron pours, and while we're out of town, I'll look for vegan restaurants or vegan spots to try food, and then I'll be like, well, this is what I did like about it, and I'm going to take those flavor profiles to create my own recipe of this, or here's what I didn't like about their recipe, so I'm going to remake their recipe but do my own
Yeah.
spin on it. So yeah, everything I just kind of come up with myself. So that's fun.
Wow. So what you all been into the sculpting and the metal arts and things? Will we be able to see some of you all original pieces
Oh
at
yeah.
Radish Kitchen?
Oh, well, I don't know. I guess I could probably put some things up every so often, but we are going to build all of the shelving that all of the displays for stuff will be on.
Wow. Hey, it's good to have it at Masters because I didn't even
Oh
think
yeah.
about that. Like, you literally get to create the type of shelving and everything you want. Like, you really get to build out this space the way you want it to be, the way you want your Peoria business to be. Just love
Yeah.
this. So, if someone was to come up to you and they would say, "Hey, Jam, I only have 10 seconds to determine if I even think that your business is beneficial to Peoria," what 3 words would you use to get them through the door?
I would say, well, it is vegan. I think that's important to note. I would say community oriented and um, hmm, and approachable, because I think that
Hmm.
the vegan thing gets a bad rep sometimes. There are like terrible vegans that are judgmental and harsh and angry, and my whole mission is to just make it more approachable and affordable to other people. So maybe if somebody's like, I want to get healthy but I don't know where to start, I can say, keep doing what you're doing but just add plants to it and see how you feel, and maybe omit these
Hmm.
other things. So and I think seeing like what is similar between Black Dog and Radish Kitchen. Both of these things are really oriented in the community. It's really trying to build stronger ties amongst the community in completely different ways. And then, of course, still being vegan being the first word. That I think that's important to note. There's really not that many vegan options in Peoria, which is why I started all of this. So
And it's amazing to see more options showing up. It's
mhm.
nice to be able to go to a restaurant and say, I don't want any meat for breakfast. What do you have? And they have options now.
Mhm.
And even with, like, for the kids, I go to the grocery store and, like I said, we're not fully plant-based anymore, but I'm getting back into it because I need some energy. And even just like the chicken nuggets and the cauliflower bites they have, and they just make it so fun for kids to where
Yeah,
you can
totally.
truly enjoy it. I think the only one we did not like, we tried some plant-based ice cream,
Mhm.
and I think I have to just find the one we like. That one, it wasn't too good, but someone told me that to freeze the silk yogurt, to freeze that,
Oh,
and it
mhm.
gives you the idea of ice cream without it having the dairy in it. So I don't
Yeah.
know. I'm gonna try it and see what happens and let you know.
Yeah, you could also do frozen bananas, and then you just blend them up with a
Mm.
little coconut milk, and that's it. And you can add whatever you want to it, but that's what I usually do if we want ice cream. Or there's a brand that's a coconut milk ice cream that's at most
Mhm.
grocery stores, and that one I think is pretty good. I can't think of what it's called, but yeah, it's some kind of, they have like a vegan cookie dough coconut milk ice cream.
Oh
That's pretty great.
wow.
Yeah.
I remember a friend of mine, well, more of a colleague, when she was vegan for years, and she said she noticed that when she didn't really feel like doing everything from scratch, that Audie's was her favorite place to get plant-based type of food from.
Uh-huh.
And have you had any favorite brands, like, since you've transitioned over the few years? Like, what is your favorite store bought brand when you and your
Yeah.
husband are in the kitchen just creating stuff from scratch?
Yeah, well, most of what we eat is just, we mostly eat a lot of whole foods, just getting like produce from local farms and eating lentils and chickpeas and stuff. But if sometimes we eat what we call little kid dinner, and we get the Annie's vegan mac and cheese, the one with the bunny on it. They have that at Hy-Vee, and I love that. And then we'll eat, Aldi's has some really good vegan nuggets. It's I think that they're oats oat and tofu. I don't know what they do different, but a lot of vegan nuggets I've had it's just like a hunk of tofu with breading and it's not good. But the almond
Yeah.
one like has that similar texture to what traditional like children's chicken nuggets are. It's like kind of flaky and I don't know, I'm probably not selling it really well, but it's really good. And then we'll usually eat some kind of potato on the side. So like vegan mac and cheese and then the vegan nuggets and then like potatoes, like fries or tater tots or potato wedges or something. So
Yeah.
yeah, I don't have a favorite brand except Kroger has a really good brand that's just called Simple Truth. And their
Mhm.
like vegan section, I think of the vegan cheeses, Kroger has my favorite one.
I have to try it. That was hard for me. I couldn't find the cheese I like. And then I was like, nope,
Yeah.
I like cheese too much.
Yeah, that was the hardest thing to give up when transitioning to vegan. So when I was doing Upbeat Jams, anyone who subscribed at that time was getting a free vegan cheese every week. That way I could try out new cheese recipes every week. And I have a list of 12 now that are like my 12 best ones that I'm going to sell in store when we open. So I'll have vegan cheeses.
Ooh.
I've been working on them for a long time now. So I feel like they're going to be pretty good and equally satisfying.
Wow. So for our families that receive SNAP benefits from the state, will you be accepting EBT at the
Yeah,
Radish Kitchen?
I'm looking into like the specifics of how to do that right now, but that's something that's really important that I want to be able to offer too. Also, something that I'm trying to figure out like legally how to do it is having a roundup option for anyone coming in. So if your total is like $15.50, you can round up to $16 and that 50 cents gets donated so that if anybody living in this area who can't afford to get any meals, they can come in and I can give them free meals, and it makes sure that
Wow.
I can keep offering, like I can afford to keep offering that, but it's the community giving back like small cents to feed other people. So I'm working out the legal
Wow.
side of how to be able to offer that, but those are two things that are really important for me to offer as well.
Amazing. That is wow, that is so amazing. And I volunteered at the food pantry at
Mhm,
the drive through by Tree. Well, at Treeland School.
mhm.
And it was the first pantry I've ever been to in Peoria where they had vegan and plant-based options for families that
Oh,
came through
cool.
there, and they didn't eat meat and dairy and things like that. And I thought that was so amazing
Mhm.
that it's we're breaking that norm of, oh, you have to spend a lot of money to eat healthy, because there's
Mhm.
so many ways now where you can still be cost effective and have a good diet. So I am
Yeah,
so happy.
absolutely.
Oh, I'm so happy for you. I could talk your ear off all day about this. It's very interesting. But I know you are a busy woman and you got to get ready to get some meals cooked and all the different things you have going on. So before we end our interview, can you tell people how they could follow Radish Kitchen and reach out to you and things like that to just stay in touch with you and your growing business?
Sure. So I have an Instagram, which is at Radish Kitchen Peoria. I'm also on Facebook. I think it's Radish Kitchen Peoria as well on Facebook. There's another Radish Kitchen that's I think it's in Tennessee or something, but it's
Oh,
different
okay.
than mine. But mine's obviously the Peoria one. And then the website is radishkitchen.org. I'm also available on email, which I'm looking to hire part-time eventually, probably in February. So if anybody sees this and is looking for part-time work and wants to be a part of my team, I'm going to be launching an application soon, but I'm accepting resumes or just interest right now. And the email address is info@radishkitchen.org.
Awesome. So you heard it here. You know how to follow her, and come on, who wouldn't want to work at an awesome vegan convenience store? So make sure you're on the lookout for those applications too, so you can get your interview and all of that good stuff. Well, Miss Jam, thank you so much for sitting down with me today. Congratulations on the storefront. That is amazing. That is
Thank
really amazing.
you. Yeah, thanks for the
And yeah,
opportunity.
oh, absolutely. You're gonna have to come back on here with me before your grand opening, or I might just have to come in there and interview you on the spot because I gotta try this food,
Yeah.
especially the dessert. Man.
Oh yeah, that'd be great. I'll keep you in the loop.
Oh, perfect, perfect. Well, thank you everyone for tuning in with us today. As always, you can follow Peoria Life on Facebook and Instagram at Peoria Life, and you can go to peorialife.com to check out the content we have on our website. And until then, I am Nara, your director, and we'll be talking to you all soon.